Okay, we're going to do another Google tip or trick, and this tip or trick has to do with reading the news. Now, there are a lot of ways that I personally read the news, but I thought maybe for some of you that don't have a lot of time in the day to go out to multiple sources and look specifically to find what you're wanting to see, there is this cool feature in Google, but it requires you to have a sign-in account, which I do, and I'm going to go ahead and sign in. Now, there are a lot of advantages to signing into a Google account, but I will warn you that in doing so, they are doing some tracking of websites for marketers and that type of thing on your whatever it is that you're looking for. Some people just don't care about that, and with regard to this, you have to weigh the benefits to the disadvantages. But once you get logged in, you'll see that you're signed in here in the upper right hand corner, and then there's this little square with little squares within it, the Google Apps, and I'm going to go down into the news area. Now, this is actually pretty cool because and it will default to some top stories, both worldwide, U.S. wide. You can set it to default to weather for your area. Where do you do that at? Well, if you go up here, you'll see a personalize. Now, you will not see this button if you aren't signed in. That's the advantage of signing in. And when you go into personalize this, there are some settings. And depending on what it is that you like to see, now bear with me and don't hold any of this against me, but I do like the world news, so I can change it from sometimes to often to always, which I'll do. I always like to see the U.S. news. Everything is set at in the middle when you first come in. Business, sure. Technology, often. Entertainment, not so much. Sports, rarely. Not a big sports fan, although I'm going to need to be because I have a future son-in-law who is really into sports, so I really need to get up on that. Science, just occasional. Health, yeah, I love health-related topics often. Now, here's a really cool thing. I have a love of all things Jewish. I have a love of paleo. So if there are other types of articles and news that you look for on the front of the news sources, you can add a topic down below. Let's say I wanted to add ketogenic to that, or a keto diet. There we go, keto diet. And I'll just hit this plus and I'll add. And by adding that keto diet, and then I can add or change the frequency or how often I see that, save the results. It'll blink. And then as I scroll down, you'll see my settings will kind of change my news feed. I'll see top stories, mostly U.S., a little bit of world in there, business, technology, a little entertainment, one sports article, because we really said rarely on that. And then down below, I have my health, Jewish holidays, paleo, and then the keto diet. And so every day when I come into this, it's this aggregate. And what Google News does is it aggregates headlines from all of the news sources worldwide. So if there's something in the news that day. Now, which news sources is it looking at? Let's go back into personalize. As I scroll down here, I can adjust sources. Now, when you go in to see your sources, you might just see Fox News or CNN or ESPN. I hate CNN. I absolutely hate them. So I took them down to rarely. I took ESPN down to rarely. I took Fox News up to high. I know, don't hold that against me. And, you know, if there were other news sources you like to look at, like let's say CBS News, you know, I could take that news source and hit the plus and add it and then change the frequency by which I like to see those news sources. Always saving my adjustment. So there are a lot of different news sources that you can adjust if you want to see more from one news source than another. I hate CNN, so that was great that I could pretty much eliminate that for the most part. Now, with regard to the weather, There is a, oh, and this is kind of cool too. Down along this right hand side, based on my location, which I can change, it's pulling local news from the Oil City Derrick. And today's news, the VFW Tyrants Bench to be rededicated. This is a project that I worked on here in the Oil City area. Tried to fight for it, was not successful to leave it in our little city park. But anyway, that's another story. But you can go in here and hit change location. You can put a zip code and it'll pull local news from that location, and that's how it's pulling the weather as well. So being able to customize your news from different types of news to actually pulling keywords, again, sorry for scrolling so fast there, but pulling like Jewish holidays, paleo news, every day now I can go in and see what's going on in that area. So your own personalized news feed. Anyway, thought that was pretty cool. Got to be signed in to do it. Give that a try. Enjoy.